All right, well, let's finish off this stream on a Tottenham update. Let's see what's doing the news rounds on regarding transfers. First one's not about a transfer, it's about Ange Postecoglou. Alistair Gold says it's understood that Ange Postecoglou retains the full backing of those within the club with an understanding of what he's battling through right now. Spurs are understood to be trying to put in the right structures and people around him to ensure that the Australian can succeed and compete for trophies once the squad comes through this period. I mean, why isn't the structures in place now? Why are they not in place already? He's been here a season and a half. Surely the structure would be in place at the beginning of last season.
If that's well run from a footballing point of view, it would be. But unfortunately, that's the situation. Look, to be fair, I'm kind of glad that that's what they're saying, because they realise that what is current the situation around him isn't good enough for him to succeed, and I think that is that's fair if you're acknowledging that and you're giving him time to fix it and you're trying to get things right. And I think that's what they should be doing. You should be, if you're fully behind a project and you're fully invested in it and you really believe in it, that is what you should be doing. So I'm kind of glad that's the stance they're taking. Obviously, for Spurs fans, you've been waiting 20 years for things to go right for Tottenham and things to them to do the right things. It's very frustrating to have this kind of patience, and we've lost patience, years ago, let alone having patience now. But I do think if you really believe that's the project you should be going for, and you really believe that that's the route you should be taking, and you're not going to waver from it, then that's the stance you should be taking. And so that gives me a bit of encouragement.
The reality is, though, right, like they're saying Spurs are understood to be trying to put the right structures and people around him to ensure that he can succeed, right, and compete for trophies. I mean, that's never been the case in 25 years of Enoch running this club. So, I mean...
Exactly. They said they'd want to put it in place because they don't have it in place. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but why don't they have it in place? Why have it taken 25 years for them to start thinking about putting it in place? This is ridiculous. Like, Daniel Levy and Enoch, they're not fit for purpose. They're not fit to run this football club. They're not fit. They're fit to run an entertainment business, and that's what we're doing right now. That's all we're doing. And for them to come out a year and a half into the season, into Ange's tenure, and saying, "Oh, we're trying to put the right structures in place," how is that anywhere near good enough?
It's not good enough, but it is what you should be. It is what you should be doing. Sorry, I should say.
Do you buy it though? I mean, like they've probably been saying similar things for 25 years.
The only reason I don't buy whether they can do it. I don't know. I don't buy. Look, I don't buy whether they're capable of putting that structure in place. I completely agree with you on that. I think clearly they've struggled to do it for 25 years, and I don't know whether they can do it now. My only point is, if you are going to believe in that project and you are acknowledging right now that the structure isn't in place, then you should try and put it in place for him, and that is the right course of action. If you believe if you believe this is the right project and the right path to go down, younger players, rebuild, attacking football, all these different things, that's the right course of action they're taking on that front. Now, I completely agree with you. Are they capable of putting those structures in place? I don't know, but if they're acknowledging that the structure isn't in place, they're saying we're going to put the structures in place and give them time. That would be the right course of action. Is my point. That's what I'm saying. But I completely agree with you. Whether it's the right course of action, are they capable of doing it? That the jury's clearly out on that. The answer would be leaning towards no, because they haven't done it for 25 years.
Let's get into some transfer rumours. First up is Bryan Mbuemo. RMC Sport claimed that Tottenham, Arsenal and Manchester United have all shortlisted Bryan Mbeumo for a transfer target. Brentford would want in excess of 50 million euros for Bryan Mbeumo. Obviously an unbelievably talented player. I think he's perfect for us for that right wing. I would love to see him through the door, but I just can't see... Spurs get... Particularly, I mean, January, definitely no chance. In the summer, I think it would cost probably best part of 60, 70 million to get him in.
I don't know what's his contract situation, but obviously he's a brilliant player. I said actually before I didn't believe he's maybe the perfect fit for our system, but I might be changing that, because I actually think he's really developed that part of the game where it's not just transition where he's good. He's actually really a lot better
a year left in the summer.
Also, that's definitely will perk Levy's ears, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think he'd be an excellent addition. He can not only fill in on the right, he can also play up front. You can put him in the front too, and could also do a really good job there. He's improving every year in the Premier League. He's going from strength to strength. I think he's got the mentality to be a real success here. But the problem is, will he think he's maybe onto better things at other clubs, and who else? Look, we'll have to see what situation we are in the summer, but I just can't. Look, Brentford are above us right now, so I just can't see him jumping ship and coming to us mid-season. I think he also knows maybe in the summer, when it's not so chaotic, the window, he can make a clearer decision for where he wants to go. But I do think he's probably on his way out of Brentford. He's been so good, I just can't see him staying there, unless he really wants to run down his contract and leave on a free. So I do think they'll want to sell. Brentford always do sell, to be honest, when it gets to this situation. They'll rather the money than keep Mbuemo. They've always been very clear about that with all their other sales. So I do think he'll be up for sale. But if Arsenal are in for him, if other clubs are in for him, it's we're going to be difficult to put our hat in the ring. But look, if it comes to other teams, mid-table teams, I think we could be a good option. We could be a good sell. But if Arsenal are coming in, I just can't see us.
We're a good mid-table option. We're a good mid-table option for Bryan Mbeumo, but I would love to see him through the door. I just see it's very highly unlikely. I love watching him play. I think he's such a good player, and like you say, he just keeps improving. But
it's another player where people say, if you're signing players from Brentford, that's who you turn into. But it's another case where he's clearly could be a top 6 player. Just because he's playing for a mid-table team doesn't mean like he's not good enough.
Yeah, the difference is that the players that we signed from kind of teams at the bottom are all below us. Brentford are actually above us.
Yeah, that's also true.
Next up, we're going to talk about Milan Skriniar. L'Equipe are saying Skriniar will decide his next club between 4 clubs: Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur, with Spurs now showing real desire to sign him. PSG want a loan deal with a buy option that is easily triggered. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Skriniar here with on a permanent. I think a loan from now to the end of the season would be great, but in terms of a buy option that's easily triggered, I don't think that's something that we should be doing.
No, I agree. I think a loan with an option, just in case we really believe he can do something for us in the long term. I think logically, would he fit the system? I don't know. I think logically, does he have the pace? Is he good enough on the ball? These are all different questions. He
doesn't have the pace. He's slow, man.
Yeah, he's not the quickest. And is he good enough on the ball? So he was at his best when he was in a back 3 with Inter. Albeit he also had a good partnership at times with De Vrij, but I think that was when he's at his best. Hasn't worked out at PSG, who like to play a possession-based system. But he's also a very good centre-back. There's no getting away from it. And would he help us right now in the current crisis? 100%. I think he would still be better than probably Dragic and Gray at the back. So
another player 5 years too late.
He would be helping us. No, he's only, 32, 31?
Yeah, but, he can't get into the PSG team, can he?
Yeah, but I don't know why, but when the PSG signed him a couple of years ago, he was still.
He's only 29.
Oh, yeah, he's 29, so he's not old.
He's played 5 games for PSG this season.
Yeah, I don't think he's a finished player though. For one reason or another, they feel like he doesn't suit them. I
think in the system that we play, I think he'll get found out massively.
Maybe, but I still think he'd be better options than what we got right now.
To be honest, I'm looking at the way Skriniar plays. I actually probably prefer to play Archie Gray that centre back than Skriniar.
I think he'd be better than Gray.
He'll play a high line and he'll just get caught out. I mean, he's so slow.
I think he'd do a better job than Gray right now, and also it gives you the option.
If we sat back a bit more,
if you put Van der Ven there on the left and put Skriniar in the middle, it gives you that option as well. I think a short-term loan would be brilliant, and I think it would help us. But I just don't think, I'm not convinced if we sign him permanently that we wouldn't want looking to shift him soon. So I would put a buy option in there just in case he comes in and actually surprises us. But I think a loan for sure would be the best bet.
And last but not least, Sport are claiming that Tottenham are attempting to sign Barcelona forward Ansu Fati on loan. The player has already received 2 proposals from Premier League clubs. And if we're worried about getting players on the pitch, then Ansu Fati is probably not the best choice of action, because he's a player that obviously has talent coming through Barcelona and everything, but the guy can't stay fit. So, I mean, I just don't see a point to this one.
He wasn't good at Brighton, was he? So he couldn't stay fit at Brighton. Even when he was playing, he wasn't exactly amazing. He was all right in the Europa League mostly, but wasn't exactly amazing. Definitely no. definitely. I think it'd be the last player we should be going for. Another injury-prone player. I think that'd be the last thing we should be doing.
All right, well, there you have it. That is your Tottenham update. That is your stream done and dusted. We'll be back tomorrow for more Spurs content. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.